President Barack Obama and the President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Good to see you all. This crowd's so loud, I think they can hear us as a trophy. They're going to hear us. They're going to hear us on Tuesday. Folks, I'm Jill Biden's husband, Philly girl. She's ready for Game 6, like all of you. It's good to be home. It's good to be with family. That includes someone we all love, Barack Obama. Great president. Historic president. I'm proud to say a dear friend. Well, folks, 3 days. 3 days. Until one of the most important elections, in our lifetime. It's going to shape, the outcome's going to shape our country for decades to come. And the power to shape that outcome is in your hands. 2 years ago, you used that power to make Donald Trump not only a former president, but you made him a defeated president. You have the power to make John Fetterman your next United States Senator. Josh Shapiro, your next governor. What's on in your career? I mean this sincerely about what's on the ballot this year. Your right to choose is on the ballot. Your right to vote is on the ballot. Social Security and Medicare is on the ballot. Something else on the ballot. Character. Character's on the ballot. When I think of character, I think of John Fetterman. You know, this endorsement event the Philadelphia Choir, they said, John knows what his values are. Well, my job is saying for a long time. I'm a Pennsylvania boy, born and raised in Scranton. The longest time, Delaware, like many other small places, did not have a television station. So Philadelphia TV had to cover me the same as they covered all Pennsylvania senators. I was known as Pennsylvania's third senator. My point is, I know Pennsylvania well, and John Fetterman is Pennsylvania. And Oz, Pennsylvania. Look, like a lot of us, John's gotten knocked down. When he gets back up, he's gotten up quickly. John has character, integrity, and he's going to be a good senator of the United States Senate of Pennsylvania. Another thing is, don't worry, we're going to talk about it later. Courage. Courage is also on the ballot. When I think of courage, I think of John Shapiro. This guy will take on anyone and back down to no one. And we saw that in 2020. He stood up for the Constitution. He stood up for the rule of law. He stood up for the people of this state. And he's going to be one hell of a fantastic governor. It's not just John and Josh, we've got a great Democratic lineup on the ballot here in this state. You heard from a lot of them today. You heard from a lot of them. We have one of the best delegations in Congress. I keep making myself in Pennsylvania. But really, Democrats up and down the ballot. We need to elect them all. We need to pass Pennsylvania. This isn't a referendum this year. It's a choice. A choice between two vastly different visions of America. Vastly different. Maybe it's in our blood, but John and I believe it all. It's all about fighting for working and middle class people. The way I've said at the beginning of my objective when I ran for president was to build an economy from the bottom up and the middle out. It's a fundamental shift compared to the odds of the mega Republican trickle-down economics. This ain't as far as the Republican Party. This is a different breed of cat. I really mean it. Look, they're all about the wealthier getting wealthy, and the wealthier staying wealthy. The middle class gets stiff, the poor get poorer to their problems. You saw what happened last time under my predecessor. The economy was in ruins. He was the first president since Herbert Hoover to lose jobs in the course of his presidency. The unemployment rate was 6.4%. He lost manufacturing jobs and hundreds of small businesses here in this state, 100,000 nationwide. Look, folks, the country was in a pandemic with no plan how to get out. Today I was sworn in, only 2 million people have been vaccinated. Now more than 220 Americans are fully vaccinated. Since I came to office, we've created 10 million new and good-paying jobs. 10 million. The unemployment rate is 3.7%, near a record 50-year low. John and I understand. We need to make things in America the first time in a long time, and we are. That means instead of shipping jobs overseas, we're shipping product overseas. I'm serious. We've created so far 700,000 manufacturing jobs just in the last 20 months. 700,000. All the progress. By the way, where the hell do you think is it written that we can't be the manufacturing capital of the world again because we will be. But a lot of families are still struggling. A lot of families are struggling. That's why I signed the law, the Inflation Reduction Act, which is going to reduce the cost of everyday things for families. Things have to pay for every month, and I've got another paycheck to do it. We gave Medicare the power to negotiate lower prescription drug costs. The same power the last administration has to cut drug prices in half. We tried to get that done for years when I was the Senate and Vice President. But Big Pharma spent a lot of money and votes, supported a lot of votes. Well, guess what? Not this year. We beat Big Pharma. They put a cap of $2,000 a year in prescription drugs for seniors on Medicare, no matter what their drug costs were. And some of them pay $10,000, $12,000, $14,000 a year for cancer drugs. But now, beginning January 1, they will not have to pay more than $2,000 a year, period. They put a cap on insulin to deal with the diabetes. Instead of paying $400 a month like they're paying now, they're going to pay no more than $35 a month. And the John's President in the Senate will have one more vote on I need. We're going to make sure we cap those prices for every single person, all that motion, because we have it in the individual bill, but only stayed in for Medicare recipients, but everyone. How many of you know somebody who has to take insulin for diabetes? Look around. And it's incredibly costly, no matter what your age, it is badly needed. And folks, look, we made the biggest investment to deal with the climate crisis ever. By the way, Josh and John know that we can cap oil and gas price wells with abandoned mines. We can do that in Western Pennsylvania. We create thousands of good-paying jobs for the same people who dug those mines in the first place. That's why we're investing $350 million here in this part of the country to do just that. We're not just talking, we're doing it. We're going to do this while reducing the federal deficit. You know, because of the help I have from the senators in the Democratic Congress, we literally cut the federal debt in half by $1.4 trillion. This year, and last year by $350 billion. Another $250 billion over the next decade. Look, I don't want to hear from the MAGA Republicans who blew up the debt. We're the ones bringing it down. They shot it up. By such a massive reduction in debt, we're able to help working and middle-class families in America. Look, we're finally making sure the biggest corporations begin to pay their fair share for God's sake. One of the reasons we're so excited is we just passed a minimum 15% tax. Look, folks, if you're a school teacher, you pay more than that. If you're a cop, you pay more than 15%. But the days are over. The corporations are paying zero federal tax. By the way, 55 of the largest corporations in America paid $40 billion. They paid not one single penny in federal tax. Not one. Because we reduced the deficit so much, we're in a position to help millions of working middle-class folks caught in the crossfire of the pandemic and what happened with the Russian movement in Ukraine. Because I acted, provided $10,000 of student debt relief. Less than $125 a year, and 90% of that money goes to people earning less than $75,000 a year. Look, it's an incredible burden to carry. So now they're going to be able to buy a home, start a business, just to get a little bit of breathing room. And whatever MAGA Republicans like Oz and Mastradamus talking about, they're trying to stop me. Their hypocrisy is unbelievable. The same MAGA Republicans who took hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions of dollars in the pandemic relief loans, had their loans forgiven, but trying now to buy student loans. Marjorie Taylor Greene. God bless her soul. She and her husband had $183,000 of PPP loans forgiven. Congressman Bernard Buchanan of Florida, he got over $2 billion forgiven. Who the hell do they think you are complaining about helping out students? Us migrant Republicans don't think we should give working middle class Americans a break. But here's what they do think instead. They want to make permanent the $2 trillion tax cut that they passed when Trump was president. That tax cut is not a penny was paid for, and it goes to the biggest corporations and will explode the deficit by trillions of dollars. They think the biggest oil companies, the 6 largest oil companies, in the middle of this crisis, you know how much money they made? $100 billion. It's outrageous. Look, they should have used that money when they were supposed to do it, lower gas prices to pump from American people. The price of the pump actually was 50 cents lower than it is today per gallon. It gets worse. You know what their number one priority is if they win? Look, they're saying it out loud. They want to get rid of everything we just did. The power we just gave Medicare to negotiate drug prices, gone. The $2,000 cap on prescription drugs, gone. The $35 cap on insulin, gone. The tax credit for lower energy costs, gone. 50% corporate credits, gone. The $800 savings in health care premiums we just got for families in the Affordable Care Act, gone. In fact, they want to do away with the Affordable Care Act. That means millions of people with pre-existing conditions lose their insurance completely. No matter how hard they try to get rid of Obamacare, I'm never going to let it happen. These guys have never ceased to amaze me, man. Never ceased to amaze me. Now it gets worse. They're literally coming after Social Security numbers. Look, I know the only thing you better all you younger people in here, and thank God there's so many of you. I know the thing you know is by the time you're 16, you have money taken out to pay for Social Security. But guess what? There's somebody out there who must have been back, you must have lost your husband and your wife. You're 66, 68 years old. You want to take away your Medicare, your health care, and your Social Security. I think I'm exaggerating. First front page of the New York Times talking. I want to show you what. There's a guy out there, they're telling us what they're going to do. They're saying it straight out loud. At least they give credit for that. And look, here's what they're going to do. They want to do. There is a guy named Senator Rick Scott of Florida. Who's in charge of electing the Republicans in the Senate. He's the guy pushing on. Read from, they listed in a program, listed all the people to read. I just circled the one and brought it out here, and I'm going to quote what they say about Social Security. It says, all federal legislation sunsets in 5 years. If the law is worth keeping, Congress can pass it again. It means that the law literally goes out of existence. So it's affirmatively voted back into existence. And then along came Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, Senator. By the way, he thinks 5 years is too long. Not a joke. It's almost so surreal something. He thinks Social Security and Medicare should be the chopping block every single year. If Congress doesn't vote to keep it, for the first time, it goes away. Not a joke, it goes away. Not just Social Security and Medicare, he also wants to put veterans' benefits on the line. Secretary elect John Frederick of St. Criticized when I first got elected years ago. I'd say, clean, sacred obligation. Prepare those we send to war, and to care for them and their families when they come home. That's a sacred obligation. Sacred obligation. The folks, that's what I pushed and signed a thing called the PACT Act. The PACT Act guarantees health care for service members and veterans exposed to toxic burn pits. These burn pits are literally the size of a football field and range in depth from 8 to 10 feet. There's everything in them from jet fuel and human, just everything burning. You know, remember all the fight about the cancer, the brain cancer, so many firefighters were getting from the 9/11 and toxic exposure? Well, it's the same kind of thing. I've been in and out of Iraq and Afghanistan over 30 times. I had a son who spent a year in Iraq. His hooch was literally less than 200 yards from him. Well, this new proposal guarantees health care for the service members and veterans exposed to toxic burn. Like my son, so many went incredibly fit and came home dizzy and having trouble. So many have brain cancer. My son came home. Stage 4, 3 of us don't. He passed away. But here's what we did. Up to now, we don't pay any attention to this. We haven't done anything. We had to fight to get it done. And now for thousands and thousands of people coming home. More people coming home from these wars with brain cancer than any other war in American history. And other cancers. But guess what? Now, they come home and they're still alive and get full benefits from health care. Try to fight it. And the families, the children get monthly stipends for their families, and tuition help for the children. Look, folks, it's not just about the crime. Let's talk a little bit about crime and keep the community safe. I signed the most significant gun safety law in only 30 years. I proposed over 100,000 police officers. Here's the deal. Public safety is why John got into the public service in the first place. Oz won't do a thing about guns. But John Fetterman vetoed, with your votes, John Fetterman will be in the Senate and be able to help me add one more thing that I got done when I was a senator. Ban assault weapons. They're going to pass another ban. They want to have a national ban on abortion. The overturning Roe wasn't the end for them, but just the beginning. States are already passing bans, without exception, of rape or incest in the life of the mother. And Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina is going to make sure the laws are like even other Republicans are going to ban choice completely. Let me tell you something. If they get enough states to do that, they get the Congress to vote for that, I will veto it. It will not happen. But if we let John Fetterman in the Senate and keep control of the House, we can restore the right to choose in this country by codifying Roe v. Wade and making it the law of the land. I spoke a few weeks ago here in Philadelphia about democracy being at risk. Democracy is literally on the ballot. This is a defining moment for the nation. And we all must speak with one voice regardless of our party. There's no place in America for political violence. No place. No place for what we saw happen to Paul Pelosi, a friend of mine, and Nancy Pelosi. No place for voter intimidation. You see these guys standing there with rifles outside of all places? Come on. Who the hell do you think you are? No, I should get going. There's no place for this. There's no place for this security. We have to reaffirm the values that have long let me close with this. Here in Philadelphia, a place that defines the soul of America. Today, I've been saying this for now years. Today we face an inflection point. One of those moments that comes along every several generations. One of those moments that you're going to look back on in years from now and know whether or not we met the moment based on the state of affairs 10, 15 years from now. I want you to know we're going to meet that moment, just like we've done before. You're going to enter those final days of this midterm election remembering that the power of America is in your hands. It really is. And people, just remember, you're going to elect Barack Obama president. You're going to elect our son from Scranton president. You're going to elect Kamala Harris first black woman vice president. So here we go. You're going to elect Josh Shapiro as your next governor. You're going to elect John Kerry as your next United States senator. Folks, I've never been more optimistic about America's prospects. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I've never been more optimistic. Looking around this crowd, it reinforces what I think. The generation between the ages of 18 and 30 is the most involved, the most generous, the least prejudiced, the most engaged generation in American history. I'm looking at America reasserting itself around the world and lead the world in the 21st century. I've traveled this country and seen this great nation because we are good people. I know this. There's no quit in John Fetterman. There's no quit in Pennsylvania. There's no quit in America. We just have to know who we are. We are the United States of America. Nothing beyond our capacity if we work together. So vote. Get out and vote. And may God bless you all. May God protect our troops.
Please welcome back to the stage Attorney General Josh Shapiro.
Showing up in your hunt clubs and on your street corners, listening to the good people of Pennsylvania and learning from them. telling me stories about where they want to go in this world. I return to you today, 13 months later, hopefully a better candidate than when I started. And certainly, a man who has been humbled by this process. You know, my wife Gloria, she's here tonight. She is going to be a great first lady of Pennsylvania. My wife Gloria and I have dedicated ourselves to public service for two fundamental reasons. The first is because of our family. We are blessed with four amazing children. Their names are Sophia, Jonah, Maxim, Ruben, and I look in their eyes every day and I worry. I worry about their planet. I worry about their safety. I worry, and moms and dads, you'll understand this, I worry that we brought our children into this world at a time where maybe, just maybe, they have fewer opportunities in the world I was blessed to be born into 49 years ago. And I worry about your kids and your grandkids as well. That's one reason I do what I do. The second reason I do what I do is because of my faith. Now listen, I'm not here to preach at you, to tell you what to believe or to believe at all, but I want you to know what I believe. You see, my scripture teaches me that no one is required to complete the task, but neither are we free to refrain from it. That means that each of us has a responsibility to get off the sidelines, to get in the game, and to do our part. For Pennsylvania, I come to you 13 months after we started to tell you I'm prepared to do my part as the next governor of this great Commonwealth. You see, as I crisscross this Commonwealth, I see a time where we have great opportunity, but also where we have a whole lot of work to do to defend our fundamental freedoms and protect our democracy. And when I think about the great opportunities that we have, the first place I think of is in our public school classrooms. And when I'm your governor, we will fully fund public education. But it's not just about writing a check to our schools. It's about making sure our schools are opportunity zones for all God's children, where our kids have a chance to really learn. We have to make sure in every classroom we've got a terrific and well-paid teacher. And now kids deserve to have all the books and computers they need, but you know what else they deserve? They deserve to know when they are feeling worried, when they are feeling anxious, that they can walk down the hallway and find a mental health counselor in every school. When they walk to and from school, have a safe community to live in. Really honest, we'll hire more police, but we'll make sure the police are from the community that they're sworn to serve all the time. We'll make sure they look like the community that they represent. They'll be properly trained. Because understand, this is where I come down on it. People have a right to be starts by raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Can make their way into a state-funded union apprenticeship program. And we need to make sure we give everyone an opportunity to succeed. Open up the doors of opportunity to those who have been shut out. And so on day one of our Shapiro Davis administration, I will sign an executive order doing away with the college degree requirement for thousands of state government jobs, opening up the doors of opportunity for those who need it now. We'll plant some flags again in this Commonwealth and show that we can take the fight to every other state. We'll create tens of thousands of green energy jobs right here in Pennsylvania and lead the nation. Biotech and robotics, we will show the rest of the world that Pennsylvania is open for business. Good schools and safe communities, an economy that lifts everybody up. The way we do this is we need a governor who knows how to take on big fights. I know a little something about taking on big fights. To court and won and canceled $200 million in student debt. You know, as Attorney General, we've arrested over 8,200 drug dealers in this county. But I understand this crisis didn't start on our street corners. This crisis started as a result of the greedy executives in pharmaceutical companies. I found out about it. We filed criminal charges, brought the largest wage theft case in the history of the United States of America. But here's the thing. You mess with a Pennsylvania worker, you got to go through me. We want to put all $21 million back in the pockets of our workers a week before Christmas night. I want you to know I'm not done taking on big fights. I got another big fight in me. It comes in 3 days when we defeat Doug Mastriano in this governor's race. Here's the thing. We must defeat Doug Mastriano. You know, he said his number one priority isn't cutting your costs, isn't making our community safer, isn't helping our school kids. No, think like Doug Mastriani, if you don't look like him, if you don't vote like him, if you don't worship like him, if you don't marry like him, you don't count in his Pennsylvania. You know how I know that? Because I know where he was on January the 6th. He went there that day. Understand. He went there that day not to hear a speech or protest. He went there that day to stop your vote from being counted. Because he doesn't respect it. And he's already told us what he plans to do the next time in 2024. He has said he's going to use his power as governor to, his words, not mine, review the voting box, make corrections, and then he plans to decertify certain voting machines in this Commonwealth so he gets to answer the question. What voting machines you think this guy's going to decertify? Probably the ones here in Philadelphia, right? Are we going to let him get away with that? Listen, that is not how our democracy works. That's not how we do things in this Commonwealth or in this country. And that is not freedom. You know, this guy loves to talk a good game about freedom, right? Let me tell you something. It's not freedom to tell women what they're allowed to do with their body. That's not freedom. It's not freedom to tell our children what books they're allowed to read. It's not freedom when he gets to decide who you're allowed to marry. I say love is love. It's not freedom to say you can work a 40-hour work week, but you can't be a member of a union. That's not freedom. And it sure as hell isn't free to say you can go vote, but he gets to pick the winner. That's not freedom. That's not freedom. And you know what? You know what we're for? We're for real freedom. And let me tell you what real freedom is. Real freedom is when you see that young child in North Philly and you see the potential in her, so you invest in her public school. That's freedom. Real freedom comes when we invest in that young child's neighborhood to make sure it's safe so she gets to her 18th birthday. That's real freedom. Real freedom comes when we put Bojack in her school and opened up her eyes to the possibility of being a welder. We sent her to a union apprenticeship program and we believed in her, so she started a small business right here in North Philadelphia. That's real freedom. Real freedom comes when she hires a whole bunch of people that were never going to have a shot before. They went on to marry the people they love, worship where they want, live in a community that is safe, live in a place that respects them. That is real freedom, and that is what's all about. But it's your rights, it's your future that's on the line. And right now we need to work to claim our future together. This is a moment in our politics where I know it's easy to get a little down. It's easy to wonder whether or not we can solve big problems. Whether because of how grand and divided our politics are, whether we can meet this moment and address these big challenges. I stand before you today a man who is more optimistic than when I began this process. More optimistic because I've had the opportunity to get to know all of you. Because I've seen how hopeful you are. And because I know as a nation, we've been here before. 246 years ago, our democracy was born born right here in Philadelphia. 246 years ago, it was born, but over these last 2.5 centuries, what we've done as Americans is we've done the hard work to perfect our youth. We've done the hard work to move the ball forward. And so I stand before you today hopeful because I've seen this play out before, where folks, not with titles next to their names, but ordinary Pennsylvanians, ordinary Americans, rose up and spoke up and demanded more and sought justice and looked our children in the eyes and said, we are going to leave this place better for you than the way we found it. That's why I'm so optimistic today. We have been here before and we have met this test. And so in 3 days, we face another test, another opportunity. I ask you today to believe, not in me, but believe in yourself. Each of you has a vote, but each of you has a voice, a powerful voice. And this is a moment where we've got to sing in unison. We've got to believe together. We've got to rise up. We've got to make our ancestors proud. And we've got to do the hard work necessary to move our Commonwealth forward. Over these next 3 days here in Philadelphia and all across Pennsylvania, if you can do the hard work necessary to win this race, then I promise you, I will bust my ass for you for the next 4 years.
Please welcome back to the stage Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman.
So, on a different note, I just really let me tell you. So, hey, did somebody ever hear that I had a stroke? Dr. Oz never lets me forget that. But let me tell you, anyone in recovery of having a stroke, really the worst guy you have to go before Barack Obama coming out with that of your work. The GOAT. Tonight, Dr. Oz is going to be on a stage with Donald Trump tonight. And Bill Mastriano. A true exercise in moderation. But tonight, I get to spend this stage with two presidents. Our next governor. And we are all 100% sedition free. And Oz, of course, stands with Mastriano, and they all want to ban all abortions right here in Pennsylvania. But I gotta tell you, we're so grateful to have Josh Shapiro as our next governor, because he would never let that stop on his watch. You know, I'm running to serve Pennsylvania. Oz is running to use Pennsylvania. He spent over $27 million of his own money to try to buy this seat. There. Pennsylvania is not for sale. As I said, I had a stroke, and it really knocked me on my back. But I got back up. In fact, my life was saved by hand medicine. but Oz owns 10 gigantic mansions. He's never experienced inflation. Doesn't really think he ever care about that. But we must always push back against corporate greed. Inflation hurts Pennsylvania families, but it relieves $10 billion in profits for Shell. You have to call it what it is. Price gouging, pushback, and we must always start making more and more things right here in Pennsylvania and right here in this country. Dr. Oz, for all of his show and all his merchandise, all of it was manufactured right in China. There's only one candidate in this race that is going to stand on the side of the union way of life and making sure more things are made right here in Pennsylvania. And also, let me make you that bargain right now. That bargain is, I want to be that 51st vote in Washington, D.C. We were the first campaign to actually call eliminating the filibuster. We gotta get rid of the filibuster because we have to make some really fundamental changes here in this nation. Who realizes what our minimum wage is right now? $7.25. Who can live off $7.25 an hour? Oz refuses to commit to raising our minimum wage. I believe that all work has dignity, and every paycheck must have dignity as well. stuff in your little mini fridge a little too long because they forgot about
Hola,
it?
hola, sí, sí. ¿Aquí escuchan bien?
Sometimes they miss class in order. And in the afternoon, that person, they might tell you they're voting, but they might not have voted yet.
Me lo estaban checando.
So you've got to help them. Make sure that they turn out. Because this election requires every single one of us to work hard. It's that important. You heard our president talk about the stakes of this election. You heard John Shapiro and John Donovan talk about the stakes in this election. A fair economy that gives working people a fair shot. That's on the ballot. Fundamental rights are on the ballot. Truth and facts and logic and reason and basic decency are on the ballot. Democracy itself is on the ballot. Let's vote for that. Midterms are always hard for whichever party is in the White House. And typically midterms are tougher on Democrats. A lot of folks don't pay attention to politics the way they do in the presidential.
Right.
Maybe they don't think that Congress matters as well. Maybe they don't think their vote will matter as well. Younger people especially are less likely to vote in midterms, and that hurts Democrats because young people trend in a more progressive direction. And I can tell you, I can tell you from experience that midterms matter a lot. But some of you are too young, but let me refresh your memories or give you a history lesson. When I was president, I got blood group in midterm elections. I was elected in the midst of a financial crisis. And we did the right things to get the economy back on track, but it was slow, and people were frustrated. And just like they are right now, after we're coming out of the crisis. Sometimes it takes a while for things to settle down, but people are experiencing things right now, immediately, right? And so we lost in 2010, we lost the House. And then in 2014, even though now the economy was improving, we saw the lowest voting rate recorded in modern history, maybe, in recent memory, and we lost the Senate. And because we did progress on big important issues, from immigration to gun safety to climate change, either got a lot harder, or in some cases just ran to a halt. How you doing? I'm not big on voting back, but sometimes I can't help imagine what it would have been like if enough people had turned out to vote in those places. And imagine if we had maintained control of the House and we had maintained control of the Senate. Imagine if we'd been able to fix our broken immigration system back in 2011. Imagine if we'd been able to pass meaningful gun safety legislation back then to prevent more deaths. Imagine if we'd been able to reduce our emissions even further than we did. We'd be further along in avoiding the worst impacts of climate change. If we had kept the Senate in 2014, have a very different Supreme Court. So midterms are no joke. Sometimes we get so focused on the presidency. But I am here to tell you that our democracy works as a team sport. A president can't be stuck alone. That's not how our system is set up. So what happens in the House, what happens in the Senate is vitally critical. And the good news is you have an outstanding president right now in the White House. You don't have to like just imagine what might happen. He's doing stuff right now. Solving problems right now with a Democratic Congress. And you can continue it if you vote. Think about why Joe Biden's already got caught. Despite a historic pandemic, he not only repaired the economy and kept unemployment low, which, by the way, you should not take for granted. Because a lot of folks thought with a historic pandemic like that and a shutdown that we would potentially go into a Great Depression, and we did not. And unemployment is very low right now because of the actions we took. He's lowered healthcare and prescription drug costs. He passed an infrastructure bill that will put more folks here in Pennsylvania and around the country to work and make our economy stronger. He's made the biggest investment in clean energy in history. If you help Democrats keep the House and get a few more seats in the Senate, you can guarantee he'll make more progress on the issues you care about. You've seen what he's accomplished with the Bears.
Al final me dices tú, no tengo planeada ninguna obra.
If you vote, he can do even more, but it depends on you.
Dime tú una pregunta y con esta pregunta ya
Republicans know this. And that's why they're doing everything they can to prevent you from voting. This is one of the only major parties in worldwide that actively tries to discourage citizens from voting. Hey, don't move. They can't hear you if you move, but they'll hear your vote. They pass laws to make it harder to vote. A lot of times, many of the elected officials or the people who are running to run elections right now are suggesting that maybe they would not count votes, nullify votes, overturn votes. But the big tactic that they're going to use, because they always do this, especially in midterms, year after year, election after election,
Sí.
they will try to make it free. They will resort to fear. They want to scare the living daylights out of everybody. And most of the time, those fears have a very slender relationship to reality. So, that's back in 2010. Republicans tried to make everybody afraid about deficits and debt caps. Oh, deficits are going to ruin the country. Now, it turns out the deficits didn't explode. We actually brought them down. And by the way, as soon as they got a Republican in office, they didn't suddenly care about deficits, passed big tax cuts for the wealthy. We're paid for, and we got some outstanding historians. Because you were only 8 when all this happened. It's unprecedented this year. 10 years later, not a single person has faced the death knell from Obamacare. 135 million people now have health coverage thanks to
aquí ante una multitud, cientos de personas en Filadelfia, Pensilvania, y no es casualidad que los tres estuvieran en este estado, que es muy importante para las próximas elecciones.
It turned out there were no ISIS fighters pouring across the border.
Sí, sí, escucho.
Migrants, and they were mostly unaccompanied children. And drowned considerably.
Pero me va a hacer una pregunta.
We do have to prevent Ebola from reaching our shores because you know what? We believe in science. It's really helpful. You know what? People got afraid. People got afraid. It was visceral, and so they.
No, Dalito,
I
no,
didn't
Dalito.
turn out the right places because you know what happened. So midterm elections matter. Republicans understand this. I understand it. I promise you. And Joe Biden understands it. And if you keep that in mind, if you ignore the bank robbery, if you ignore the cynicism, if you vote, then we will keep this country moving forward. The only way to make our democracy stronger is if we fight for it. We can't take it for granted. And that starts with elected people who know you, who see you, who care about you.
Bueno, Joana, y Pensilvania tiene también un significado especial para Trump, quien ganó aquí el estado en 2016, pero también para Biden, que en 2020 se lo arrebató.
Know what it's like when things aren't just handed to you, but you gotta work for them. That's what you did 2 years ago when you sent Joe Biden to the White House. He knows you. He's been there. He's running for you every day. Doing everything he can to money in your pocket. It makes free safer. Bring more good jobs here to Pennsylvania. You know, I can tell you that the presidency does not change who you are. You can tell by my successor, it didn't change him. It reveals who you are. It reveals who you are under the stress and strain of the presidency. And the decency, the empathy, the belief that everybody counts, that we have seen on display from Joe Biden these past 3 years, that's who he is. Inflation is a real problem right now, not just here, but around the world. It's one of the after effects of the pandemic. It's screwed up supply chains, and it's been compounded by the war in Ukraine, which made energy prices shoot up. And it takes a bite out of everybody's paycheck. And it's frustrating, and it's scary if you're on a fixed income. I get it. So does Joe. But the question is, who's actually going to do something about it? The Republicans who want to gut Social Security and Medicare while giving more tax cuts to the wealthiest among us, more tax cuts to big corporations. That ain't going to work. I don't think that's going to help you. Or is it Democrats like Joe Biden who are lowering the cost of prescription drugs? And hold haven't paid the bills. John Connor? Not correct. Who will fight to keep your family safe? No Republican politicians who want to flood our streets with more guns? Voted against more resources for police departments, or Democratic leaders who worked with Joe Biden to pass the first major gun safety legislation in nearly 30 years? Who will fight for your freedom? Is it Republican politicians and judicial appointees who think they should get to decide who you love or when you start a family? Or is it Democratic leaders who believe the most intimate personal decisions that we can make belong to every individual American, not mostly male politicians in Washington? That's what you have to decide. And who is going to actually make democracy work for you? Republicans, they've already promised. They said, I'm not making this up, they said it. Look it up. They said their top priority, we're going to spend the next 2 years investigating their political opponents. I don't know how that's going to help you. Some of them said, we're going to teach Bible. They're not quite sure why or what for. But that's irrelevant to them. Think about that. How is that going to help you, your family? Young people launch a career, start a family, get a mortgage. So that's one option. The other option is President Biden and Democratic leaders who work together, and sometimes even young Republicans, against their best instincts, I guess, to work with them to create new jobs and lower costs and fight climate change. That's the choice of this election. Between politicians who see more than doing anything and saying anything in power, and those who share your values and want to make your lives better. You just heard from Josh Shapiro. You know what Josh is focused on. He was one of the first people ever to endorse my campaign for president. For some reason, he looks the same and I look a lot older. I don't know why. But he had my back. He had my back. If you elect him your next governor, he will have your back every single day. Growing the economy, paying taxes for the working people, not those who don't need it, funding our schools, supporting our teachers, and keeping our kids. Josh is a puppet. Whoa. Wait a minute. He's willing to take the most extreme positions on pretty much everything. I mean, you name it. Global warming? He says it's fake science. Doesn't matter what the thermometers say. Should gay people be allowed to get married or adopt children? Nope. He doesn't think so. He does think it's okay to dress up in a Confederate uniform for his staff photo at the college where he used to teach. Hey, it wasn't even Halloween. It was like Casual Friday or something. Listen, Pennsylvania, let's remember what century it is. says he is. He does not pretend to be somebody else. He doesn't put on airs. He doesn't treat people differently depending on who he's talking to. You can tell what's in his heart, what's in his gut. As your Senator John will help build an economy that works for everyone, because that's his track record. As a mayor, as somebody who worked with kids who didn't have advantages. He's going to improve our criminal justice system, get lower costs for Pennsylvania families. And he's tough. And not just because he wears shorts in the winter. He knows what it's like to get knocked down.
He's relatable.
But John Strong didn't change who he is. It didn't change what he cares about. And it will not change who he fights for when he gets to the United States Senate. The only person John's opponent's fighting for is himself, and maybe Donald Trump. What did I say about voting? Remedies he's pushed on TV, the raspberry ketones, lavender soap, the palm oil for dementia. But you know what? That matters because if somebody who knows better, is willing to sell snake oil just to make money, and he's going to be willing to do anything and say anything to get elected. Even if it's not good for you. And Pennsylvania, you deserve someone that's honest with you. You deserve somebody who cares about you. You deserve somebody who will tell you what they really think, what they really believe. That won't be looking to see what Donald Trump tells them they should be doing or thinking because it's expedient. Somebody who's going to work for you every day and fight for you. And by the way, somebody who's actually from Pennsylvania. Somebody that knows better. And you deserve leaders who will stand up for a woman's right to control her own body. I genuinely believe there are people of good conscience who differ from me on abortion, and they should be free to make those choices as their conscience guides them. But we should all agree that women everywhere, whatever their economic station, whatever states they live in, should be able to control what happens with their own bodies. Josh's involvement says he thinks both women who get an abortion and the doctors who help them, who treat them, should be prosecuted. John's opponent said the decision about whether to have an abortion should be made by, quote, women, doctors, and local political leaders. Really? I mean, what, are you going to petition the mayor? Are you calling the sheriff? City council member, school board? Who exactly should tell you when to start a family? You should make that decision. And if that's not worth 15 minutes of your time, the amount of time it takes to vote, I don't know what it is. But if you need another reason to go home, consider the fact that democracy really is on the ground. Listen, Democrats may not be perfect. I'm the first one to admit it. I wasn't perfect. Joe, he'll tell you, hey, listen, you're making decisions all the time. We're all human. We all got to worry about They're not even protecting the facts apply anymore. They just make stuff up. Joshua's opponent was at the Capitol on January 6th. He was there. I mean, and you know, he wasn't just an observer. John's opponent hired people who were there to work on his campaign. He decided to vote. Now, yeah, I don't know if it was the guy with the Viking hat or who, but he decided I need that guy on my campaign. Both of them have, to this day, have refused to say that Joe Biden won the last election. Now listen, I understand that democracy might not seem like a top priority right now, especially when you're worried about being guilty. But when true democracy goes away, we've seen throughout history, we've seen around the world, when true democracy goes away, people get hurt. It has real consequences. This is not an abstraction. Governments start telling you what books you can read and which ones you can't. Dissidents start getting locked up. Reporters start getting locked up if they're not towing the party line. Corruption reigns because there's no accountability. People get hurt. There are consequences. There's a reason why generations of Americans died for our democracy. There's a reason why suffragists and union members and civil rights activists marched and struggled and in some cases gave their lives for this precious thing, this experiment in self-governance. They understood how precious it was. They fought to broaden and expand who would be included in we the people. And they understood that when democracy quits, it's hard to restore. You can't take it for granted. You have to work for it. You have to nurture it. You have to fight for it.
I love you!
And the good news is, you get to make a difference. As long as you turn out to vote. You can fight for it as long as you turn out to vote. You can face our democracy as long as you get out there and do what needs to be done. We joke in my household that Michelle, you know, she's got a bad. I understand there's in terms of popularity, there's basically Michelle, Maria Sasha, Sunny, I understand. She's hot. Here's a little secret about Michelle. You know, in our household, she can be a little bit of a glass half empty person sometimes. You know, she can get a little discouraged about what she sees happening. And you know, I'm a hopeless case about it. So I'm usually a little more optimistic. And so if she's been watching the news or read the papers, some crazy stuff that's taking place basically every 10 minutes. You know, she'll get a little down and I'll say, hey, honey, everything's going to be okay. And I believe that. I believe things will be okay. But I also know that things won't be okay on their own. They'll be okay if we make the effort. They'll be okay if we work for it, not just on election day, but every day of this week. so nasty and mean, and it just seems like people will say anything and do anything, and it can be depressing sometimes. And a lot of what we used to take for granted, things like respect and common decency and telling the truth and believing in science and the idea that every person counts and that the person with the most votes wins. All that somehow has become controversial. But I was listening backstage to what Josh talked about the experience of him running for governor and traveling around the state. It reminded me of the experience I had first as a state senator traveling around my district, and then as a U.S. Senate candidate in Illinois, and then as a presidential candidate. It's such a privilege to be able to meet people from every walk of life, folks who look different and live in different places. And it would always remind me, and what we have to remind ourselves, is that there's this common thread, that there's this thing that binds us together as Americans. I believe that no matter who we are, or where we come from, what we look like, who we love, what our last name is, how we worship, I believe that all of us matter. The kind of slash and burn politics that we're seeing right now, that doesn't have to be who we are. We can be better. And it has nothing to do, by the way, with political correctness or being too woke. It's about fundamental values that my grandparents from Kansas taught. Values I grew up with. Values you grew up with. Values we try to teach our kids. Values we learn in churches and mosques and synagogues and temples. Honesty, fairness, opportunity, hard work. Values that Josh Shapiro and John Letterman stand for. Values that Joe Biden stands for. Values that were enshrined in our founding documents a few miles from here. A clarion call for freedom and equality that Philly's own Libertyville represents. That's what America stands for. George is anxious and frustrated right now. Don't complain. Don't moan. Don't tune out. Get off your couch and do what? Put down your phones and do what? Vote for Josh Shapiro. Vote for John Biden. Vote for leaders who will fight for you and your family. Vote for cultural rights that are big, inclusive, hopeful, forward-looking America that we believe in. Who will work with Joe Biden to build a country that is more fair and more just and more equal and more free. That's our task. Let's get to work. I'd like to thank you.
Rain